It begins with a knock at the door. Tiny vampires, superheroes, witches, and skeletons standing under glowing porch lights holding plastic buckets overflowing with candy. Streets that looked ordinary just hours before suddenly feel haunted. Fog rolls across lawns, giant spiders hang from rooftops, pumpkins grin from every window, and for one night, America transforms into something completely different. But here's the strange part. Halloween wasn't even born in America. So how did this spooky holiday become one of the biggest cultural obsessions in the United States? And why do millions of Americans spend billions of dollars every single year just to celebrate fear? To understand Halloween, we have to go back more than 2,000 years. Long before candy and costumes, ancient Celtic tribes in Ireland, Scotland, and parts of Europe celebrated a festival called Samhain. They believed that on the night of October 31st, the boundary between the living and the dead became dangerously thin. Spirits could return to Earth, ghosts could wander among humans. People lit massive bonfires and wore frightening disguises to confuse evil spirits and protect themselves. For them, this wasn't entertainment, it was survival. Imagine living in a world without electricity, where darkness truly felt terrifying. Every strange sound in the forest could mean danger. Halloween's roots were deeply connected to humanity's oldest fear, the fear of the unknown. Centuries later, Christianity spread across Europe, and many pagan traditions were absorbed into religious holidays. The Church created All Hallows' Eve before All Saints' Day, and eventually the name evolved into Halloween. But the spooky traditions never disappeared. Instead, they adapted. Irish immigrants later carried these customs to America during the 19th century, especially during the Great Famine. And when those traditions arrived in the United States, something unexpected happened. America didn't just adopt Halloween, it reinvented it. In the early 1900s, Halloween in America looked very different from today. There were community gatherings, pranks, bonfires, and costume parties, but no massive candy industry yet. Teenagers often caused chaos on Halloween night. Some towns even feared the holiday because vandalism became common. But businesses saw an opportunity. By the 1950s, companies realized they could turn Halloween into something family-friendly and profitable. Candy manufacturers pushed trick-or-treating. Costume companies exploded. Hollywood joined in with horror movies and monster culture. Slowly, Halloween transformed from an old folk tradition into a massive American entertainment machine, and Americans absolutely loved it. Part of the reason Halloween became so popular is because America loves performance and imagination. Few countries celebrate self-expression quite like the United States. Halloween gives people permission to become someone else for a night. A shy person can become a fearless superhero. A businessman can become a zombie pirate. Kids can transform into creatures they dream about all year. It's one of the rare moments in society where pretending is encouraged by everyone. There are almost no rules, and people crave that freedom. But Halloween taps into something even deeper: America's obsession with fear as entertainment. Haunted houses, horror movies, true crime documentaries, roller coasters. Americans willingly pay money to feel scared. Psychologists say controlled fear creates adrenaline and excitement without real danger. Your brain experiences the thrill while still knowing you're safe. Halloween turns fear into fun. That's why people line up to walk through haunted attractions, even when they know someone will jump out at them with a chainsaw. And then there's the business side. Halloween is now one of the most profitable holidays in America, right behind Christmas in some retail categories. Every year, Americans spend billions on decorations, candy, costumes, parties, and haunted attractions. Entire neighborhoods compete over who can create the scariest house. Some families spend months building elaborate graveyards in their front yards. Stores begin stocking Halloween items before summer even ends. It's no longer just a holiday, it's an industry. Hollywood played a huge role in turning Halloween into a cultural phenomenon. Classic horror films like Halloween, Hocus Pocus, and The Nightmare Before Christmas helped create the modern Halloween atmosphere Americans recognize today. Horror icons became pop culture legends. Ghosts, vampires, werewolves, and serial killers became part of entertainment instead of pure nightmares. Halloween became cinematic. And once something becomes part of American pop culture, it spreads everywhere. Social media pushed Halloween even further. Today, costumes are no longer just costumes, they're online content. Millions of people post makeup transformations, haunted house tours, pumpkin carving videos, and elaborate decorations across platforms every October. Viral trends encourage people to go bigger every year. Some Americans now treat Halloween almost like a month-long festival instead of a single night. Entire towns hold parades, horror conventions, and giant themed events that attract tourists from across the country. But perhaps the biggest reason Halloween became so wildly popular is because it brings people together in a way few modern traditions still can. Think about it. In an age where neighbors barely speak to each other, Halloween forces interaction. Families walk through neighborhoods together. Strangers open their doors to children. Communities decorate streets together. Schools host costume events. Offices hold themed parties. Even adults who claim they don't care about Halloween often end up participating somehow. For one night, entire neighborhoods become alive. And there's another fascinating reason Americans connect so strongly with Halloween. It reflects the country itself. America has always been a mix of cultures, myths, fears, and reinventions. Halloween is exactly that. A Celtic festival transformed by Christianity, reshaped by immigration, commercialized by capitalism, amplified by Hollywood, and supercharged by the internet. In many ways, Halloween's evolution mirrors the American story itself. Yet underneath all the costumes and candy, something ancient still survives. That old human fascination with darkness, with death, with mystery. Even in modern cities filled with technology and bright lights, people still gather every October to tell ghost stories and decorate skeletons. Deep down, humans have never stopped being curious about what scares us. Halloween simply gives America permission to celebrate that curiosity openly. So the next time you see glowing pumpkins on a quiet suburban street, remember this holiday began thousands of years ago beside ancient fires where people feared the dead might return. Today, those fears have become entertainment, tradition, business, and culture all at once. And maybe that's why Halloween became so wildly popular in America, because it combines everything Americans love: freedom, imagination, spectacle, community, entertainment, and just enough fear to make life feel exciting. And every October 31st, America willingly enters the darkness again.